even for that matter, her skin. She has to be just comfortable with everything. If you are risk aversive, you will burn all your bridges and do what you have to do. Don't blame the external environment. So आप इंडिया से हो, शाहरुख पाकिस्तान से है, आप लोग पार्टनरशिप कैसे कर सकते हो?
All right, Shireen, it's not the first time on the channel. मैं ना सिमरन के साथ मजाक कर रहा था. इनफैक्ट हम जब मिले थे तब भी मजाक कर रहा था कि सिमरन और मेरे अलावा सबसे ज्यादा लवदीप और शिरीन आया हमारे चैनल पे. So welcome back to the channel. आज हम थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट डिस्कशन करेंगे. We'll talk less about immigration and we'll talk more about you. You as an individual, you as a woman who has made it really big in business, and we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll see if people can get motivated. And immigration की बातें हम और भी करेंगे in subsequent videos. Right. But Shireen, just for the audience who is seeing you for the first time, tell us something about you when you came to Canada. Tell us something about ACE Law. Just introduce yourself.
Yeah. So first of all, I think I'm very fortunate enough, even more fortunate than Lavdeep, that I'm now a step ahead of him on your channel. So thank you for the invitation. And yeah, so I'll just give you a brief background about myself. I think ज़्यादा motivational तो नहीं है, but जितना थोड़ा बहुत है. So I was basically a lawyer in India. And it was very sorted in my head कि कहीं पे भी जाना है तो प्रैक्टिस ही करनी है या लॉ प्रैक्टिस करनी है, अपने प्रोफेशन से ही जाना है और प्रोफेशन में ही करना है. सो दैट वे आई वाज वेरी मच फोकस्ड एंड सॉर्टेड इन हेड कि क्या काम करना है. और कनाडा नहीं भी होता, कहीं पे भी जाती करती मैं लॉ ही.
अच्छा.
So and yeah, ACE is our company. ACE is basically now a fully dedicated Canadian immigration law firm, and we do a lot of programs. हमारी काफी सारी चीजें, and touchwood, by God's grace, we are growing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So tell us something about, like, why did you start your own law firm? Like, बहुत सारे lawyers होते हैं जो और law firms के साथ start करते हैं. I just get fascinated by people who start their own business and go on their own, and they think कि नहीं हमने अपने आप ही करना है. So what motivated you to do that? A lot of people want to do it.
Actually, I had already got a lot of exposure in India as well. Then I got exposure in Canada. I would not say straight away start your own thing. I would say taking first few exposures and then learning from others' experience is very important. What happened with me was that I was always a person who can work at night also, who can work in day also. 9 to 5 वाली मेरी कभी भी ना setting बैठी नहीं थी कि 9 o'clock पहुंचो 5 o'clock. I think it blocks my creativity. It blocks a lot of my. It is a very big roadblock for me in terms of doing what I have to do. So that is where we came up. And so is with my partners, even Labdeep, Shahrukh. All of them are like so individually so profound and so good. So we all came up with this idea that we started our own firm. Halka sa risk aversion is always there, but then in service-based industry, even that takes a backseat when you believe in your work. And that's what made me start ACE, and it's a beautiful journey so far. Everything I do, I think work is worship for me.
And you have grown a lot in pandemic. जहाँ पे pandemic में, a lot of people actually were not doing well, and by God's grace, I think you have done really well. So tell us something about the expansion that you guys have done with ACE, and then I'll have follow-up questions on what are the challenges related to that.
Yeah. So we started with ACE Canada. Of course, we were regulated lawyers, barristers, solicitors over there. So we started first with ACE Canada. We got a very growing demand, especially in pandemic, because I think people realized the importance of a secured country, and especially India, people from India, they realized this big time, and that is where our work increased. A lot of people from Gulf here approached us, and that is when we started our operations in Dubai. We have one now office in Islamabad, and soon we are opening in Qatar and India.
And most of this growth happened during the pandemic, so that's really admirable. So Shireen, I'll talk about, I'll straight away come to, a point that both me and Simran actually feel is massive, especially in the Indian community, in the South Asian community, when there are a lot of pressures, especially, एक तो new immigrant pressure होता है कि, हम country में सब कुछ छोड़ कर आए हैं यहाँ पे, and, सब कुछ करना है, like you also came, like all of us come. उसके बाद I personally believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's an added pressure as a woman Simran also sometimes feels that, family pressure hai, ye karna hai, wo karna hai, So how do you as a woman not take a back seat when things are hard? How did you manage? And I know that there's a lot to do with the dynamic with your partner as well. But
Mhm.
there are 3 or 4 big things that you would say to every woman who is coming to Canada, who feels कि नहीं उनका career back seat पे जा सकता है, बच्चे हो जाएंगे फिर career back seat पे जाएगा. Like, how do you manage all that?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, actually. A lot of people, I think, take a backseat in their career when they, give up the confidence. First and key most factor is, I think, women should always be confident with what she has, with what she has done in the past, with herself and everything about her. Even for that matter, her skin. She has to be just comfortable with everything she is. So, as a new immigrant, I don't think I ever took it on my head as a pressure that I cannot do this, or there are people that I have to compete with. No, my biggest competition is me myself. So that is why I always thought of improving myself every day, with each passing day, just trying to strive better with my field. And then law was such a domain that the more you read, the more you study about it, the more you get to know the system. I would say that you can easily conquer that particular area. So same happened with me. Career wise, I never I was just focused from the beginning. I always thought that if I have to go, I have to go through my career. I have to do this, I have to do that. And then also there are certain days that I get tired. I feel like, घर की responsibility है, सारी चीजें हैं. अब today I'm in one phase of life. Tomorrow when I have kids, I'll be in another phase of life. But then again, I enjoy every bit of it. Even if I'm tired, I am allowed to rest, but I'm not allowed to quit. So I have to adjust myself. And I honestly believe that unless and until one moves, one migrates, moves, or, even moves from one house to another house, there is no, I would say there is no progress in your life till the time you don't move.
I think I don't know, what you think about regret. मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि कई लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं, and कल मैंने ना स्टोरी में बता रहा था ये, कि ऐसा सोचते हैं कि यार अगर मैं फेल हो गया तो, right? So how do you deal with, क्योंकि आपने जब लॉ फॉर्म शुरू करी, फेल तो हो ही सकते थे, right? Yes, you love your work. फेल तो हो ही सकते. So how did you get past that? Because घर तो चलाना है, घर छोड़कर आए हैं, यहाँ पे खर्चे भी हैं, रेंट देना है. यहाँ पे तो ऐसा है नहीं कि मम्मी पापा का घर है and हम रह रहे हैं and like no rent, right? So how did you deal with that failure or that fear of failure कि यार अगर फेल हो गए तो क्या होगा?
हाँ, एक्चुअली जो रिस्क एवर्जन होती है ना, मुझे लगता है ये आप बंदे को सिखा नहीं सकते किसी. यू विल बर्न ऑल योर ब्रिजेस एंड डू व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. एंड आई एग्जैक्टली नेवर थॉट ऑफ प्लान बी. माय प्लान बी ब्रिजेस वर ऑलवेज बर्न्ड. And I think so is with all of us. Our plan B bridges were all burnt. We were like, yeah, jo hai, jaisa hai, we'll put it in and we'll see the results. Now, coming to results, obviously some days are not what you're expecting it to be. Some days are low, some days are high. But then the feeling that I went all in it's beyond imagination. Like, it's a beautiful feeling. As a person, I've always taken certain risks. I've never thought कि ये नहीं होगा तो वो नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा तो ये नहीं होगा. That is how I think one grows also. If you are too protected about things, or for example, even if in your own firm you micromanage things, you don't delegate things, then also you can't grow. Let me tell you, you can grow to an extent, but if you don't delegate, you start micromanagement, you don't take certain chances, there is no chance that you will grow after a certain, it will become stagnant. So I think, yeah, that is something within you that is inbuilt. थोड़ा सा chance लेना पड़ता है life में अगर आगे बढ़ना है तो.
नहीं, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, I totally agree. And ये जो delegation वाला part, I'm actually dealing it right now. I'm not good at delegation. मेरे को किसी ने आके बोला था मैं आपकी videos edit करता हूँ, right? So तो मैंने बोला चल तू कर ले, देख लेते हैं, right? But it was very difficult for me to actually look for an editor and look for an underwriter, and वो सब मैं भी अभी deal कर रहा हूँ, and I totally agree. Plus, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, for me, for instance, the biggest satisfaction that I get is not the money that comes in. But I think the biggest satisfaction, if you ask me, is when I go to Walmart And when someone comes up to me and said कि अरे आपकी videos देखकर ना मैंने ये करा था,
जब हम मिले थे, याद है आपको? मिले थे लोग.
exactly right, when we met, you know, someone, I think that's the biggest satisfaction. And उससे अगर कम भी पैसे आ रहे हैं ना, घर का खर्चा चल रहा है, सब कुछ चल रहा है, we are not making a lot of money, I think it's still worth it. So in your business, you know, as a lawyer and, you know, as an immigration lawyer, what is the biggest satisfaction that you get, जिससे लगता है कि हाँ फेल भी हो गया तो कोई बात नहीं?
अच्छा, मैं ऑनेस्टली आपको बताऊं, आई एम अ पीपल्स पर्सन. मतलब आई पर्सनली लव व्हेन पीपल not just acknowledge your work or anything, the fact that we help them take such a life-changing decision wherein they leave everything and they trust us and they trust the journey that they're going to do in 2 years, 1 year, 2 years, and then they finally do it also. So the whole transformation of their journey, कि आप एक जगह से उठ के आप दूसरी जगह आ रहे हो, आपने शरीन से बात करी, आपने लवदीप से बात करी, शाहरुख से बात करी, और आपने उनकी बात पे भरोसा करा, उस जर्नी को आपने भरोसा करा और आप पूरा मूव हुए हो. So the change that I see in their phase of life and everything, it gives me immense pleasure. I think it is one of the most satisfying part of my job is to see people accomplish what they thought they could not. So they thought that, you know, I can never move out of this space. मेरा business है, मेरा काम है, मेरी ये चीज है, मेरे बच्चे हैं, फलाना ढमकाना. But beyond everything, when they move and when they take this decision and we help them take this decision, we pursue them. Sometimes they need the push and they need to see the greener side of it, the other side of it. That whole accomplishment, I think it's the beautiful part of our job.
The dynamic of working with your partner, I think it can be the biggest strength, because I've worked with Simran for now 2017 to now, to 5 years, 6 years that we have worked together. I think it can be a strength, but it can take a toll as well. So how do you manage working with a partner?
So very interesting question. Actually, I would say very early in life, you know, since the time we met, हमें realize हो गया था strengths and weaknesses एक दूसरे की. And of course, कई चीजों में I could be bad, कई चीजों में he could be good. So ऐसी चीजें चलती रहती हैं. But हमारा business ऐसे model पे based है जिसमें हमारी जो concurrence है ना, it's never that he has not respected my opinion or I have not respected his opinion. Even for that matter, our other partner, we are very standard in terms of our dealing with everybody. You know, if I feel he's not saying something right or he feels I'm not saying something right, not making sense, and we tell each other. So we are each other critics also. We are each other healthy critics also. But what I have realized that हमारी concurrence, because हमारी business model ही ऐसे divided है, कम होती है, फिर ज्यादा बर्तन नहीं करते. But yeah, in general we थोड़ा सा कभी कभार लगता है कि यार टाइम जोन्स की वजह से कनाडा भी मैनेज कर रहे हैं, दुबई, इंडिया, सारे टाइम जोन्स मैनेज करने पड़ते हैं. तो कभी कभार लगता है कि सुबह उठते बैठते खाते बस काम की बात करते हैं. तो फिर मतलब अब मैंने बात नहीं करनी काम की. आई एम जस्ट शटिंग डाउन माय फोन एंड दैट्स इट.
बिल्कुल. अब मैं ना नॉर्मली एक एंड करने के लिए ना आई ऑलवेज आस्क व्हाट्स द बेस्ट सजेशन दैट यू विल गिव टू एवरी इमिग्रेंट, बट उसके लिए ना I think you already touched upon that. I'll ask you this a little bit differently. What's the best suggestion or advice that you got, you know, anywhere from anyone?
I think that's actually a deep question, and if I think about it, it's always from my mother. I think she's my biggest support and strength, and she has been since day one when I thought of moving to Canada. Everything, she was my pillar. She's still my pillar of strength. And what she tells me is that, you know, Shireen, when you feel that you are not confident or, you know, you are lacking something and anything, you know, just relax, rest, breathe, easy. Don't blame the external environment. So I have never blamed कि यार हालात ऐसे हैं तो ऐसे हो रहा है, हालात ऐसे हैं तो वैसे हो रहा है, circumstances ऐसे नहीं बने तो ऐसे नहीं हो रहा. I have always taken responsibility of my action because of what she's taught me. So and plus the other thing that she's given us is wings to fly. So I just feel that ये दोनों चीजों का जो combination है ना, wherein I learn to take responsibility for my action and I know my limits and I know my boundary, everything. I think those are two things which has made me what I am today. So there's no better guide and soul than your parent, I think.
That is amazing and that's beautiful. And what's the worst advice that you ever got? Like, that's something that you would not give anyone. That's something that you would not follow ever.
Yeah, so we have had comments like, आप इंडिया से हो, शाहरुख पाकिस्तान से है, आप लोग पार्टनरशिप कैसे कर सकते हो? We've got comments like, you are too young to start your own firm. I think first 10-15 years आपको लाइफ में कनाडा में आके जॉब करनी चाहिए थी, ये वो. तो ऐसी चीजें बड़ी सुनने को मिलती हैं, बट इनको वही है, सुनो सबकी करो अपनी. इनफैक्ट आई टू हैव अ वेरी कॉन्ट्ररी ओपिनियन टू दिस. आई जस्ट फील कि जिंदगी इतनी छोटी है, आपको जिंदगी का कुछ पता नहीं है. यू नेवर नो अबाउट लाइफ. You learn from others' experience. Why you have to experience everything on your own? I too think you learn from everybody's experience and grasp the best of it, take the best of it, and then at a young age you learn a lot of things.
On that note, thank you so much, Shireen, for being.
Thanks a lot. It is always a pleasure to be on your channel, to chat with you, and just to have this heart-to-heart conversation. It's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that immigration and वो सब हम discussions.
तो चलता रहेगा साथ साथ, काम तो चलता रहेगा.
I think
कभी
it's really important, that people know you as a person, and they know, you. Not as Ace Law, but as Shireen and Lavdeep and Shahrukh, who's actually working on building, people's lives. That's what you are doing, and that's what you pride on. So, guys, the audience, if you want, you already know that the link to booking a call with Ace Law on your immigration journey is on our app. So do book a call with them. It's an exploratory call. There's no strings attached to that call. And these guys are amazing, and we actually feel very happy to have partners like you, Shireen. And just for the audience, we will be doing a couple of more videos because abhi immigration jo hai wo thoda thanda pada hua hai. Student or express entry are the options, and student visas bhi reject ho rahe hain. So we'll be doing a video on what are the best 3 paths apart from student and express entry, PNP, जो general paths हैं, of immigrant in Canada. So वो जल्द ही, once we move, we will have a video with you guys, and
definitely.
Yeah, I think let's keep helping people and keep the dream alive.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Very much. Thanks, Navjot. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye.